Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 23 The Spies, gave us a never-before-seen on-screen look at how the Imperial Remnant forces operated following the destruction of Death Star 2 and the death of both Palpatine and Darth Vader. In this episode we see several members of the Shadow Council discussing how they plan to take on the New Republic, as well as the notable lack of attendance from Grand Admiral Thrawn, who has been hinted to appear in the upcoming Ahsoka show. But what is the Shadow Council, and how is it significant to the plotline? To answer this, we need to go back to the very beginning, the downfall of the Empire. Following the Battle of Endor, Fleet Admiral Gallius Rax would form the Shadow Council as an attempt to govern and organize the Imperial Remnant. He would reveal this plan to Grand Admiral Ray Sloane to form this council and shared with her the Imperials he intended to bring into its membership. Those members being Brendel Hux, father of General Hux from the First Order, Ferric Obdur, an Imperial officer tasked with reducing the impact the New Republic had on Imperial support, Grand Moff Rand, and General Hodnar Borum, a veteran of both the Empire and Republic. From the very beginning, the Shadow Council would be plagued with distrust, deception, and assassination attempt. This can be seen even upon the formation of the Shadow Council, with Grand Admiral Sloane saying, "You're pulling strings, Admiral. I don't know what they're connected to or why you're pulling them. I don't even know who you are, or where you come from. You are little more than a shadow, and yet you lead the entire Empire." The Grand Admiral and the Fleet Admiral would once again butt heads later. Gallius Rax would attempt to assassinate the Grand Admiral upon her disagreement with his tactics. Ultimately, this assassination attempt would fail, and the Grand Admiral would escape off-world. These concerns of the members of the Shadow Council were not unwarranted. In fact, Rax had always intended to kill the members of the Council, with the exception of Hux, as he was the executor of the Emperor's contingency plan to destroy the Empire and rebuild it from the ground up in the unknown regions. He would intend to do this during the Battle of Jakku. As was specified by the Emperor's contingency plan, he would bring the Shadow Collective and their respective fleets to orbit Jakku until the New Republic arrived. Upon their arrival, he intended to activate Jakku's self-destruct sequence and destroy both fleets, as well as killing what was left of Imperial High Command. This plan only being stopped by Grand Admiral Sloane herself with the aid of New Republic operatives. Following the failure of Rax's coup attempt and the crushing defeat of the Imperial Remnant forces over Jakku, as well as the destruction of the majority of their fleet, the Shadow Council would disband entirely. At least that was the case, until 4 years later, in 9 ABY, the Shadow Council would be reformed under new membership. Those new members being Moff Gideon, Captain Gilad Pellaeon, and 6 other strong Imperial warlords, as well as Brendel Hux, a returning member. The new taskings of this reformed Shadow Council would be to reinstate the shattered Empire and restore it to its previous glory, through establishing authority on worlds it once owned. They would also focus on making advancements in cloning, with Moff Gideon attempting to make a sort of super clone, by combining the best features of each species, such as the Force capabilities of the Jedi, or the super armor forged out of Beskar from the Mandalorians. That being said, ultimately the Shadow Council would prepare for the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn, and for now, that's all we know about the reinstated Shadow Council. My guess is upon the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn, the members of the Shadow Council will likely remain spread throughout the galaxy, to continue to avoid detection from the New Republic, but will eventually, upon the orders of Thrawn, converge onto one planet, likely in the unknown regions or the Outer Rim, to allow them to consolidate their force and create a large enough of a force to at the very least defend from a New Republic attack. However, I'm not sure how the members of the Shadow Council will fall into the First Order. With Thrawn set to return, it places his character in the prime position to be one of the Great Admirals of the First Order. However, he's missing from any First Order content we have seen. So, my best guess is Thrawn is going to disappear again, or be killed in the upcoming Ahsoka show. As you might be able to tell, this is not the usual video I make. I'm far more used to making short, so 60-second you split out all the lore you can, make sure it fits into the 60-second time limit of a YouTube short, and that's it. But recently trying these longer form videos, I've definitely enjoyed doing these a lot more. So please let me know if you prefer the longer ones or the shorter ones. Do subscribe and like. I really want to try hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I think that'd be a pretty big achievement for myself. I'm already, almost halfway there, so I think it's reasonable and achievable. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave any suggestions, corrections, whatever in the comments below, and I'm going to go play Republic Defender now.